You've probably seen the same scenario on YouTube Shorts thousands of times. A channel blows up, makes 10, 15, 20k a month, but then views suddenly drop and nobody watches it anymore. Well, the bad news is it's most likely going to happen to your channel as well. And this fall-off has nothing to do with your content. The real reason why it actually happens is your niche. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Tim. I'm running a portfolio of faceless YouTube channels that does over 700k per year. A few of the channels that you've probably seen are Art of War and Zach Films. And in today's video, I'm going to give you a breakdown of two types of faceless YouTube niches and why short-term trend-based niches are not always the best choice and how you can switch to long-form branded niches instead. And let's start breaking it down with the niche that's been blowing up recently. So I'm talking about this niche that I'm sure you've seen on your timeline, Dr. Data and the AI skeleton that's been absolutely going crazy in the last couple of weeks. And as you can see here, I've got the spreadsheet prepared with 4 long-term niches. Some of them are really spicy from the revenue perspective, and also 5 short-term niches that are good and they make enough money, but I'm going to explain why I wouldn't recommend you go into them and how you should approach building short-term versus long-form channels. But let's first look at the skeleton and Dr. Data. So this channel generated $15,000 last month. If I were to show you the content they produce, I'm pretty sure that you will recognize, you've probably watched some of his videos. They create hypothetical situations about typically about human anatomy. So they would create a video, for how long can you drive, or what happens if you stop wearing caps every day, or what happens to the body if you drink creatine, take creatine on a daily basis, and etc. So typically they would go on ChatGPT, create a bunch of hypothetical situations that can happen to a human body, and then using very simple AI narration, create their videos. The videos themselves are actually very easy to do. All you need is to prompt Gemini and Nana Banana to create a bunch of images, and then to animate them you can either use free Grok, or you can go with paid Clink AI 3.0, which will give you the best quality and the most realistic videos as well. The style itself evolved from 3D animation and channels like Zach Films or Art of War that I'm running, and for the first part it was considered as a competitor for the 3D niche. But what I think happened after that is they actually created a brand new niche for themselves, and since then this skeleton been absolutely everywhere. But Tim, what do you mean by simple niche? Let me show you what I mean by that on this very simple example, because this channel been posting videos for probably like 2 months, and then what happened after they exploded is obviously this niche got leaked on Twitter, or got leaked on YouTube, and every hustler who wanted to make it with faceless YouTube shorts started trying to replicate it. Why? Because these videos cost about $5 to make, meaning almost every single human being on the planet can afford to run a channel like that. And if we simply Google their name, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the list continues. There is 7 competitors with the exact same names who are posting the same exact videos, stealing the exact ideas, the styles, and absolutely everything from the original creator. And now the reason why it's bad is if you imagine a graph where your channel explodes and let's say it gets 7 million views and you just created a new niche for yourself, 7 million views a day, then when the competition kicks in, the views start to naturally spread across multiple accounts, because for YouTube algorithm, it doesn't matter whether they show your videos or someone else's videos. For YouTube, the only thing that matters is user satisfaction. So if someone can deliver the same amount of videos at the same quality, YouTube will naturally give traffic to them just as well as they give to you. So most of the markets are very democratized, and the moment the competition kicks in, your views will naturally drop to some average number that people are getting in your industry, in your niche, no matter if you were the first one, the second one, the fifth one, and etc. So in these niches where the barrier to entry is very small, like AI slop kind of videos where almost everyone can generate those videos within 15-20 minutes, you will naturally have hundreds or even thousands of potential competitors trying to steal what you've built, even if you were the first one to invent it. And this is exactly what we see with videos like this or that are not actually getting any views, but again, they keep saturating the niche, meaning the lifespan of this channel is going to be about 2 to 3 months before the niche gets so saturated that you're not capable of generating any more views. So the specifics of working with a short-term niche and with a channel that does make $15,000 with 99% profit margin is that you have to double down and post as much content as possible to squeeze the most out of the niche before it gets saturated, and then you need to reinvest this money and spend it on something long-term branded with a higher barrier to entry. And to show you what I mean by that, I will reveal this channel that makes the least amount of money, $5,000 a month, and I'll show you what it actually means to run a branded YouTube channel. So this one in particular, it's not doing good right now, but it was at its peak sometime in the past. And all they do is they post these 2D animated cartoons about different human organs interacting and talking to each other. This way, in a very fun format, they reveal some important anatomy facts and they kind of educate the audience. As you can see, the views were really strong at some point, 32, 20 million and etc. But most importantly, what I wanted to show there is the higher barrier to entry, because in order for you to replicate this particular channel, what you need is a 2D animator who will be skilled at making those videos. You need the same style of humor to be able to get the same audience and entertain them in the same way. And you also need a bit of consistency, because the problem working with animators is that most people hire them from Upwork or Fiverr, and those people are very inconsistent. Meaning, if you were to try and steal this niche and try to replicate this channel, you would first need to find a reliable freelancer. You would need to develop the style that is different enough from the original to not be a copycat. And after that, obviously, you need to set up your operations in a very professional way so that you can put out videos consistently. This naturally increases the barrier to entry, and all of the hustlers with $0 of budget to invest who are trying to replicate doctor data, they won't be able to actually replicate this channel, which will naturally lower the competition. Eventually, the competition will kick in almost any niche, but you buy yourself some time to monetize the niche while everyone else is figuring out ways to build channels in this category. It's the same thing that I did with the Art of War. So when I started Art of War, nobody actually knew how to create those short form 3D animated videos, and then also how to do it at scale. And we were the first channel after Zach Films who was able to post 60 videos a month of this 3D animated quality. And even if at the beginning the short-term niches and long-term niches might seem like they're making the same money, so why would you spend time figuring out the long-term approach? It always starts to appear after a couple months of you actually paying attention to the short-term channel. So I remember there was a big channel, Infinite's Diary, who did videos about like wholesome, who just posted wholesome commentary videos, and their channel at some point did 1 billion views in a single month. I think it was the third month that this channel was posting content, and it looked like an amazing niche, and everyone started to get in. Everyone started doing the same exact videos, which again saturated the niche, and which eventually caused the views on this channel to die, which I'm going to show you right now. So if we switch to 1 year, you will see that the channel basically did 500 million views in August, then 1 billion views in September, 1.4 million views in October, and then look how quickly the niche died out. Now they're making 160 million views, which is approximately $10,000 a month, while in October they used to generate I think more than 100K from YouTube Shorts alone. So this is the graph that you will typically get from running short-term niches. And to give you another example of how that could look like, let's go with a second niche, the Sagalens Films. And these guys, they are doing AI videos, again trying to replicate 3D, because everyone understands that 3D is probably the best niche of all in terms of the amount of views. Zach the Films alone is pulling in 700 million views in 7 days, so like 100 million views every single day on this channel. So naturally, everyone tries to replicate him, but again, because the guy has a team of animators, more than 70 people right now, who are constantly making those videos for him, and his videos cost like $1,000 each. Not everyone, and I'm pretty sure that no one, can actually replicate his strategy, so his barrier to entry is too high. What people can do is they can try and use AI tools to replicate some of his success. And if we look at this views, yes, some of the videos did get good views. So let's say if we watch this video, we'll see that the narration is very similar to what Zach D Films does, or Art of War, my channel, does. That obviously they try to replicate some animated scenes with AI, but obviously it doesn't look very accurate. And the reason why 3D animated niche itself blows up so crazy is because every single video is very accurate, and you can show something that people have never seen before in a very precise format. And AI doesn't have that, and I don't think that it's gonna change anytime soon. So even if the channel did some really good views recently, I still don't think that it is a good niche for you to start, and I wouldn't recommend you do anything like that, because again, we can look at the graph. This is what's going to happen. The question is, this channel did 1.4 billion views, which was enough. Like I'm pretty sure they make significant income, and they were super happy with this performance. But imagine if it's not 1.4 billion, but it's actually 14 million views, and then it dies out to just 5,000 views per video. It's not gonna make you any money. You will waste months of your time figuring out the niche that just simply not worth it. And compare that to the same income on a branded channel. Let's reveal Bider Films. And with him, the specifics of his channel is he's still doing 2D animation, and he's still making $3,000 a month. But the reason why his $3,000 a month are more important or more valuable is because he will be able to generate $3,000 for the first 6 months. And then when a competitor's channel from like AI 3D, when this channel dies out and the competition kicks in and everyone replicates the same style, their views are gonna drop. But then Bider will have way longer lifespan of his niche, because less people are prepared to figure out 2D animation and to figure out systems to actually create those cartoons, are getting the same number of views, but these views are more valuable. So when you think about niches, if you don't have any income or you don't have any cash to invest and spend on the team salaries, of course, go do some AI channels, go do some simple niches. But the moment you get the income from those working AI channels, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, do not spend time, do not waste your time opening more AI channels. Funnel all of this cash into building real teams and systems on the branded side of YouTube, because channels like this, first, they don't risk getting saturated, they don't risk getting terminated for any inauthentic content claims or any other termination reasons. They basically don't apply for 2D and 3D animation. Secondly, what's most important is those channels are long-term. They're very, very long-term plays that A, you can sell for bigger X if you want to exit the channel, and B, that will allow you to generate a more consistent income for a longer period of time. So Bader was out there for the last couple of months, and his views and revenue were very, very consistent. Again, because since he blew up, nobody actually tried to replicate him. Why? Because it's hard, because there is a barrier to entry. This is a fundamental difference between simple niches and long-term high-quality niches. And we haven't even got into the most interesting niches that I will reveal later in the video. But let's look at the niche that also generates $3,000 but has a huge, huge potential, which is, in my opinion, like one of my favorites from the simplest ones, because they literally used the niche bending technique and proved on a real life example that it works like crazy. Let's start with the numbers. So this channel posted 9 videos, They generated 31 million views and gained 42,000 subscribers from simple AI videos. So the channel cost them probably like $30 and maybe a couple hours. And then all of their videos got quite significant number of views, but then one of them blew up to 23 million views. Another one is at 3, one more at 3 million. And what they did is they took doctor data and the skeleton that we discussed earlier in this video, and they banned this niche towards animals, towards wholesome videos, and towards hypothetical interesting videos but about animals. The strategy that they used is called the niche bending. This is when you take a proven format and you bring it from one market to another, basically creating a unique niche for yourself. Nobody ever did this, and this is probably why it blew up so hard, and they were able to monopolize the niche for themselves before the competition kicked in. But then the problem is, the moment they did it, the moment they generated 23 million views, there are people right now, as I'm recording this video, who are trying to prompt this, who are trying to create the same quality videos, and they will start posting very, very soon. And because this channel is only now posting one video a day, they're gonna get wiped out within the next couple weeks, because you don't even understand how brutal the competition is in those simple AI niches, and you don't see it until it actually kicks in and your channel and your niche gets saturated within a couple of days. So with this one, amazing niche band, beautifully crafted, good idea, but then again, if they don't double down now and squeeze 15, 20, 30k out of this channel, it's going to die out. So the lifespan of this channel is probably going to be just a few months. Oh, and by the way, as long as we talked about niche bending, I just wanted to let you know that this month, February 25th, I'm actually hosting a live niche bending workshop where I'm going to give you 500 plus hand-picked niches. And as you can see here, the data on this spreadsheet and in this video was taken from the Niche Hunter, a database of over 500 plus hand-picked branded niches that I'm going to give to you during this live workshop. So if you want to get access to 500 plus branded YouTube niches that you can start right now, plus have my own AI tool that will do the niche bending for you, creating a unique niche. So this way you have more than 1,000 unique combinations and potential niches to start from. If you want to have all of that, plus talk to me on a call and personally validate your niche, then you'll find the link, the first link in the description or in a pinned comment. Come to the live workshop. You're not going to regret it. Besides just giving you 9 niches, I'm going to give you 500 more, and potentially it will create so many ideas in your head that you'll finally start YouTube automation, and I'll be able to ensure that you join and you invest your time and resources in a proven niche where you actually get a chance to figure it out. So the link is somewhere down below. Check it out, and let's continue with another branded channel that does $10,000 a month that I actually very like, because they were able to distribute their content across multiple channels and all of them work. So what's interesting about this one is the moment you go branded and long-term, then you can also distribute your content across multiple channels. So what this guy does, and I think it's one of the smartest 2D channels right now on the platform. So it's a mix of personal brand and actual 2D animated style. Some of his best videos are 73, 27 million views, 26 million views, amazing numbers. And if you look at the videos, it's actually 2D animated characters with his head and different faces. And again, he's just telling stories that he saw on Zach the Film's channel or Low by Mike channel. Very simple stories. You can find them on ChatGPT, but it's not about stories, it's about the format. And because it's branded, because it's very unique, and again, nobody else is doing it right now, he was able to build not one, but actually 3 channels, each doing from $10,000 to $15,000 a month. So his business is now generating close to $50,000 a month because he goes branded long-term way. So this one is his English channel, this one is I think this one is Brazil, and this one is Espanol. Obviously the RPMs are not gonna be really good there, but because he also posts compilations of his videos on long form, I'm sure that these channels generate consistent 5 figures a month. And the most important part for me is not how much he makes per month, but for how long can he sustain this income. And obviously with this niche, he can probably keep generating money from it for months or even years to come. Unlike our next channel that is doing $7,000 a month, but again it's from a simple niche list, and this is exactly what we discussed in Finn's Diary, the channel that generated 1.5 billion views just a couple months ago, but now they're back at $7,000. A very sad story, but a very real case scenario that will happen to your channel as well if you're running commentary, AI slop, if you're running any simple niche that basically kids and YouTube hustlers are able to replicate. One thing that I really want you to remember is that because of how competitive the market is, the moment you become popular, the moment your first videos blow up, there's gonna be people who will try and copy you. Even I, running a 3D animated channel, a very high quality branded long-term niche, even I created myself competitors by showing how we do it online. There's channels like Outliners who somehow figured out the style that they were able to replicate. There are channels like Nick Entertain who came with a niche band, and they decided to go with the humor. And there's many other channels who actually tried to replicate. Some of them failed, some of them succeeded, but the point is, no matter how hard your niche is, someone will come and try to steal it. But the higher barrier to entry you choose, the less likely they're gonna win, and the less people are actually gonna try it. And that's why my favorite channel from this list is actually Renrat, the channel that blew up in 2D animated style that is similar to what Bedar Films does, but because he also branded it differently, he was able to create a niche solely for himself. And let me show you something from his stats, because I think it's very important and insightful. This channel was actually doing nowhere near 100 million views a month, and it was doing it for a very long time. For a couple months in a row, they were actually struggling with views. But because it was unique, it was branded right away, then they were able to figure out the right strategy, and look what happened after. So as I said, they were doing anywhere between 20 and 60 million views for almost a year actually. And then on November, they blew up to 44 million views. Then it was 300 million views in December, and then it was 500 million views in January. So when you're running a branded YouTube channel, you A, protect yourself from competition, B, you manage to get, you will generate money more consistently because your niche is not going to die out. And then C, you have a chance that at some point the algorithm will pick up your videos and it will blow them up to crazy numbers, like what happened to Renrat, because they were constantly trying new styles. And once they came up with square hats and the cartoonish, basically comic style animations, their videos absolutely exploded. If we look at the most popular ones, 35, 20, 17 million views, and etc. They blew up in November. Still, no one has tried to replicate their success because how hard it actually is to produce those videos. So compare the skeleton that got stolen basically in a week, and Renrat, who was doing 500 million views a month for 4 solid months, and nobody actually tried to replicate them. That's what I mean by high barrier to entry. That's what I highly encourage you to do if you're going to start a faceless YouTube channel in 2026. So this is the difference between short-term and long-term niches. And if you want to know more about how each one of them works and how you should use short-term versus long-form niches, then I highly encourage you to come to the niche bending workshop that we're hosting on February 25th. You'll find the link down below. You'll get 3 incredible bonuses. One of them is 2 weeks of niche bending bootcamp in a private Telegram chat with me. Find the link, join the workshop, and I'll see you on the other side.